So a couple days ago, Ethan dropped his content Nuke on Keemstar, a video where in it he took multiple jabs at his sponsor G Fuel, questioning why he was even sponsored by them in the first place.
Keemstar's got a bottle of G Fuel somewhere in his house that's actually a Horcrux. How is G Fuel still sponsor this guy, by the way? G Fuel brought to you by false pedophilia accusations. Chug it, G Fuel.
Get it now at gfuel.com.
Go fuck you. And I also, if I recall correctly, the interview brought to you by the SWAT murder was also sponsored by G Fuel.
This caused H3's fans to go to G Fuel and demand Keemstar's release, which is what ended up happening. We first found out about this when Nicholas Diorio tweeted out, reports coming in that Keemstar has been dropped from G Fuel. All his products 404 and apparently code Keem no longer works. Judge Fish responds to him by saying, spot the difference, showing a picture from the website a few days ago where Keemstar is one of the featured creators, and a new screenshot where he's been removed from the site. Turkey Tom reacts to this by saying, looks like I can no longer use code Keem. Memeology101 responds to this by saying, the sole objective of H3H3 was to paint Keem as responsible for the death of another YouTuber, and go for Keem's sponsors. It worked. It's just like Pokimane going after It's a Gundams, just because she didn't like his video about her simps. Anything for Views reacts to this by saying, dear YouTubers, do not let Ethan set the trend of going after other creators' sponsors. The fact that Ethan did shows how much of a pile of shit he is. Okay, just found out Pokimane did the same fucking thing, morons. Andy Warski says, pictured below, Keem receiving a text from G Fuel. Kavos says, seems like Ethan does have a problem with targeting sponsors, showing a tweet that Ethan made on May 27th, 2018. To Taylor Lorenz, where he says, you know what's the worst part of your article? You, on one hand, celebrate his philanthropy, but on the other hand, paint him as an unsavory bigot. The kind of reporting that makes sponsors drop people. If this affects his sponsors, then he can no longer do philanthropy. Kavos then makes a tweet that says, Ethan can now join the club with Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and Starbucks. Super cool, Ethan. Showing a tweet he made on April 8th, 2017, where he says, nothing cooler than destroying the livelihood of thousands of independent creators. Right, Pepsi, Coke, Starbucks? Kavos continues by saying, Ethan's actions are going to cause a sponsor apocalypse, and make sponsors and brands scared to associate with any edgy YouTubers because of this. A group Ethan once considered himself in. Someone named Shats responds to Kavos by saying, I just find it funny that his main point is that H3 is trying to go after Keem's sponsors. He literally added that for comedic effect. If you watch the video, you'll see all just for comedic effect. I highly doubt H3's end goal was to get Keem to lose his sponsors. Kavos comments on this by saying, fresh takes from some of the crazy H3 fans. Ethan only called out G Fuel for comedic effect. You can't make this up. Ethan's excuse for going after G Fuel was legit. There is always G Fuel on his desk and he wears a G Fuel hat. How am I supposed to not talk about it? What the fuck are you on about, you idiot? I see people tagging Old Spice in tweets about Ethan saying the N-word to try and affect his sponsorship. But please don't. We can't let Ethan's idiocy start a brand apocalypse. Just because he did that dumb shit doesn't mean we have to. Now, understandably, a lot of YouTubers were critical of H3 calling out Keem's sponsor because of the precedent it may set for future YouTube dramas. But Eddie Burback had a very different opinion on this entire situation, and based on the likes, it seems like a lot of people agree with him. He says, who decided that YouTube sponsorships were this untouchable sacred thing? I would understand AdSense or Patreon or PayPal, but sponsorships? Especially for wealthy YouTubers? Why is this some new rule that you could never call into question the ethics of sponsoring someone? Every reply about small YouTubers seems to be this hypothetical world that I haven't seen exist yet. What small creators are getting big sponsor deals and being attacked to get those removed? I really don't see that becoming a thing, guys. I didn't get a real sponsor deal until I had like 150k subs on YouTube. Is that a small creator to you? Kleb responds to him by saying, if a professional creator who only does YouTube, yeah, 100k seems to be the entry point. Eddie then responds, that's my point though. The entry level everyone is talking about is having over 100,000 people follow you. So if you're being sponsored, you are not the little guy. You have opportunity to make money. AdSense, Patreon, merch, Twitch streaming, podcasts, etc. Weast responds to Eddie by saying, seems like a philosophy that larger creators have spread so the audience share the sentiment. It's tough. 2Mad replies to Eddie by saying, oh no, they're gonna do it to small creators. Yeah, not really. Keem being shielded by that argument whilst he continues to shit on our community and bringing us as a whole into the orbit of drama alert, literally ruining lives. Keem is precisely 12 mutated mitosis cell. Eddie responds, exactly. The argument should be adjusted to, should a small creator lose sponsorships for falsely accusing someone of a crime? Yes. Absolutely yes. That is the ethical thing to do. Harry responds to Eddie by saying, because it can be used on small creators. At the moment, big creators can dogpile their sponsors and small creators won't have a big enough voice to do anything about it. The exact same as copyright striking. The exact same as using YouTube contacts to remove partnerships, etc. 2Mad responds to him by saying, literally so many cases of big creators getting exposed by small creators. They have a voice. Keem should have everything that keeps him around ripped from him if it means even a little bit of discouragement from posting the news. Preferably retires. Bionic Pig responds to Eddie by saying, agreed. It's insane how everyone is freaking out about this, acting like just because Ethan mentioned a sponsor, it just absolves Keem of everything. Curtis Connor responds to Eddie by saying, how dare companies stop paying money to bad guy? Bad guy need money to keep being bad. Eddie responds, also, if bring up bad thing, bad guy did, now bad, because you can't bring up bad past is past. Eddie then quote tweets his original tweet and clarifies it by saying, I want to stress this tweet wasn't about Critical's video, or people attacking sponsors. It was about Ethan calling G Fuel into question as an ethical discussion. In no way was I saying sponsors are fair game for fans to attack. Just wanted to make sure that was clear. Love Moist Critical, but I also feel you put words in my mouth for certain aspects of this controversy that the tweet wasn't saying. Like me saying this problem only extended to wealthy YouTubers. I wasn't talking about the same problem as you, so that wasn't my point. Critical then responds, that's my bad. Then I misunderstood what you meant then. You may bring out the belt on me. I'm sorry. Jake Buckley says, I remember ages ago when I had a little 2 to 3 day beef with Keemstar. He sent me a private DM listing all my sponsors at the time saying he was going to get them all to drop me. None did. Today I found out Keem was dropped by G Fuel. Adrian responds to this tweet by saying, as much as I hate Keem, this guy never showed proof. Keem responds, exactly? And shit, I don't even remember threatening that. Maybe I did, but I never actually went after his sponsors. So how is this even the same as Ethan actually going after sponsors? Crispy tweets out, my plans, 2020. Colossus Crazy says, pathetic, and then shows a post from the H3H3 subreddit that says, it worked with G Fuel, so it'll probably work with Spotify. Everyone spam them. Nicholas Diorio responds to Colossal by saying, in about 6 months, I don't think any of us will be getting sponsors, because this is going to be the go-to move. Kavos responds to him by saying, well done, H3 Productions. Some Ordinary Gamers responds to Colossal by saying, this is terrible for people who aren't even involved in the drama to begin with. Imagine channels getting their sponsors removed because people pull out of YouTube en masse. Colossal responds, everyone has lost their mind stuck at home. They'll forget about this in 2 weeks. The bloodlust will dissipate. They'll say they are bored with it, but targeting sponsors' tactic is in the future. The mob will want a scapegoat in Keem or Ethan for it, but they are the ones to blame. Q Round responds to Colossal by saying, lol clown, you were such a pussy for this. Imagine having so little spine that you refuse to call out Keemstar of all people. Colossal responds, I definitely haven't been doing that for over 4 years or anything. Q Round then responds, yeah dude, wow, what a stand you took against him by helping him work on projects, maintaining your friendship with him without offering any pushback publicly on shit like what he did towards Etika, profiting from the publicity you get from being associated with him, etc. Colossal responds, a lot of that is just crap. But it's probably because you've only recently joined the herd. Your guilty by association bollocks won't keep me from talking shit on a podcast with someone you don't like at this particular date and time. Boogie quote tweets Colossal and says, so fun fact, this started happening to me 2 years ago. Someone in the I Hate Boogie fanbase started taking it on themselves to write my sponsors. This isn't a new tactic. Been dealing with it since December 2018. Now people know this works. we can expect a lot more of it. Every new sponsor I get now, I have to sit them down and show them an entire reel of worst hits and explain it and give proper context to it. It adds a whole extra shitty layer to getting sponsors. Fortunately, some brands take the gamble. I make them happy when they do. Ethan Klein then tweets out, Keemstar wears G Fuel hat in every video, and has G Fuel on his desk in every video. It's as much a part of him as his beard. It's a part of his identity. I didn't go after any of his other sponsors, but this one is part of who he is. If G Fuel dropped Keem, it's Keemstar's fault. Nicholas Diorio then shows this tweet, along with the quote tweet Ethan made to Optimus, where he said he merely made fun of Keemstar's sponsor. Nicholas comments on this by saying, yesterday, I was joking and making fun. Today, I went for a sponsor, but only one of them. H3H3 Productions can't stop lying. Memeology101 responds to Ethan by saying, H3 is scared people will go after his sponsors the next time he fucks up. Tough shit. You've made your bed, now lie in it. Bionic Pig quote tweets Ethan and says, this. It's so stupid seeing so many people blame Ethan for G Fuel dropping Keem. Like that was his fucking goal. Sorry, but if any sponsor finds out that someone that is promoting their brand does awful things, they drop them. It's a business. I don't think people understand basic business. If you are sponsoring someone, you expect that someone to act a certain way while promoting your product. If you do something awful, that business has every right to drop you. I don't understand how it's hard for people to understand. Moist Critical quote tweets Ethan and says, G Fuel likely never watched your video. Employees were doxxed and flooded with demands to drop him. Keem has done fucked up shit, but nothing you presented was new. What was new was implying people should attack his sponsor, which is a bad precedent since anyone can do that now. Shitting on Keem is fine, but what you did was create a weapon anyone with a following can use against someone they don't like, even innocent people. Companies don't watch drama videos. They only care if there's a ton of people telling them it's bad. They'll drop them. Willie Mac Show quote tweets Ethan and says, dumbest shit ever. G Fuel is Keemstar, and Keemstar is G Fuel. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. The Quartering responds to Ethan by saying, listen, you idiot. This will forever affect every other YouTuber who tries to get a sponsorship from G Fuel, and to a wider extent send shockwaves throughout the entire sponsorship landscape. In essence, you may have started what is essentially Sponsorpocalypse. Ethan then tweets out, is Keemstar an equity owner of G Fuel? He needs to disclose that because it would mean that he fabricated the entire sponsorship dropping him, so he could use it as a counterpoint. Please let us know. Keemstar then replies to him by saying, no, I'm not. Nice try, but you are not getting out of this one. Ethan then responds, okay, thanks for the response. I will retract my tweet unlike your video accusing me of fraud. Cavo shows this exchange and then says, Ethan is getting so desperate now. Alfie then responds, and Keem is deleting comments on his YouTube. Keemstar responds, I promise you I haven't deleted any comments. I haven't even read the comments. Emperor Lemon tweets out, I give up, man. There is no plight of a YouTuber and all my complaints are meaningless. If God himself handed us the keys to the kingdom, we'd still find a way to fuck things up by cannibalizing each other over the most petty nonsense. We are no different than Matt's what it is. Some Ordinary Gamers tweets out, going after a creator's sponsors is a terrible thing. It's an incredibly low blow and tends to snowball into adpocalypse that blow back onto you. Plus, it's pretty petty to do. I'm Seth Drums tweets out, hey Keemstar, I noticed your numbers are dropping pretty fast. Wanna play some Minecraft to clear your head? Or are my numbers still too small? Showing a tweet Keemstar made quite some time ago in response to Seth, who says, what if you're a music streamer that enjoys Minecraft? Keemstar responded, you average 77 viewers. No. Keemstar responds to the new offer by saying, what server? Seth then responds, sorry, I only play with G Fuel partners. Net Nobody responds to Keem by saying, I'll play with you Keemstar. I'm down to record tonight. Keem responds, cool. Net Nobody then says, aw yee, I believe I still have Skype downloaded. I'll hop on in 15. Nice. Good guy Adam coming in to save the day from a potentially emotionally catastrophic Minecraft rejection. Lewis Spears tweets out, Keemstar just DM'd me saying he wanted to apologize, but had to do it in person, so needed my address. That was fine, but he needed my IP, a list of all my sponsors, my parents' address, and the phone number of the nearest rapid response police unit. Stop hating, he's changed. Deodor Anthony tweets out, H3H3 is setting a dangerous precedent of bad people getting held accountable for their actions. We can't have that now, can we? Cavos responds to him by saying, What about you acknowledging your mistakes for Zaptai? For an event, he tweets out, if you make a video on H3H3, you do so knowing your video may get removed like Gokunaru's exposed video, which was relatively tame. H3H3, however, can make a 40-minute video on someone which results in them losing their sponsor. But that isn't removed for harassment. Consistency? You should be able to laugh about or criticize anyone, in my personal opinion, without being taken down, because at what point do they consider it harassment? Just for mentioning their name? Just make it consistent one way or the other is all I'm saying. Cuck tweets out, it doesn't surprise me to see the people who are part of Keemstar's support system are the same people who've been harassing Suzy, Lou, and I for the past few months. Better close the windows, a storm is coming. Linead tweets out, I saw H3's first video on Keem as a lot of missed opportunities. He didn't expand on Just Destiny, and he took the wrong approach to the Etika stuff. This video was the opportunity I thought he missed, and he still got Just Destiny in the chamber if he needs to clap back again. He's still 100% in the wrong for the sponsorship. He definitely implied that Keem was to blame for Etika's death, and that was fucked up. And the Swatistic shit fell flat, but I think he's pulled back with this one. He thought it out in advance and had this shit prepared. Willie Maxwell made a good analogy for Keem. He's like the racist uncle of YouTube. We all tend to let him off the hook for shit because we love him. But with that massive montage, it's easy to see why the public hates him so much. I have no idea how he can respond to this safely. Comment Cop then tweets out this Twitter video.
And another thing you did in this video is an absolute first for YouTube. You went after my sponsors. Today we're going to be looking at Soar Gaming. Now, Soar Gaming is a channel here with 618,000 subscribers. Many of these teams are big. They have lots of sponsors, and at the same time, they're being racist, homophobic, and trying to convince other children to kill themselves. That's right, encouraging suicide. Like, this has never happened before, but it's happening now. And they are sponsored by Elgato, Loot Crate, Scuff Controllers, and CyberPower PC. You have ushered in this new era where people that have beefs on each other go after their sponsors. And now let's look at some of the activity of the Soar members. We have Soar Sheen, I hope you get cancer. Shore Reigns, get pancreatic cancer. So the question goes out to you. How is Soar Gaming making the Call of Duty community look? What would happen if one of these kids actually do kill themselves? Why are these sponsors sponsoring such a team? If you think the YouTube community is happy with you right now, you gotta be out of your mind. The official Air Twitter responded with this. Get cancer, 40-year-old faggot, to me. We responded by saying, really? I think you might be losing sponsors after my report on Dromeler Air as a team. Good game. There are many small teams out there that do not act this way that I think are more worthy of these sponsorships. I would say that if you are happy that we shed light on this issue, would you please put a like on it? And you did that. You started this. I got in contact with them. I'm no longer with G Fuel anymore. I walked away.
H3 quote tweets this and says, Ethan is the first person to mention a sponsor. Keemstar, hold my G Fuel. Daniel, sponsors are scared. Keem. Showing two tweets that Keemstar made on July 11th, 2019. It starts out with him saying, and another thing, I know exactly what you did to me on Twitch, and I'm gonna remember forever. And I have some interesting stuff to show your goddamn sponsors. Kavos makes this Twitter video with the caption, Keem going after sponsors.
The only valid argument, apart from the dislike bombing and the stupid Tony arguments people are trying to make to me about Keem, are that I haven't gone after him because he went after sponsors. Now, I saw the clip after my video was already uploaded and privated and ready to go. But like I've said on a tweet already, I think that was fucked. I don't think Keem should have done that at all. But doesn't excuse Ethan of doing it either. And Ethan is doubling down on this and going hard to now get rid of sponsors and to gun at sponsors if you disagree with someone. And that is not right at all. Keem is wrong and Ethan is wrong. Period.
Keemstar tweets out, Dear Raid Shadow Legends, I've changed my mind. Where do I sign? Ethan quote tweets him and says, self-proclaimed #1 news source online still hasn't retracted or apologized for defamatory story. Nicholas then quote tweets him and says, LOL, Keemstar jokingly requested a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship, and H3 instantly intervened to try and stop that from happening. Snake emoji, snake emoji, snake emoji, snake emoji. Aiden then tweets out, everyone is screaming hashtag boycott G Fuel. During this Keemstar vs H3 drama, we should be boycotting the real monster, Old Spice.
Keemstar's got a bottle of G Fuel somewhere in his house that's actually a Horcrux. How is G Fuel still sponsor this guy, by the way? G Fuel brought to you by false pedophilia accusations. Chug it, G Fuel.
Get it now at gfuel.com.
Go fuck you.
Jared finally responds. Now, how long's it been since the pro Jared controversy happened? It's been a long time.
May.
I find it funny. He goes, not one person reached out to me. What the fuck? I don't know you. I'm not going to reach out to you. I didn't reach out to anyone else. I'm not a journalist. This is not the New York Times. I'm some fucking dude who's about to watch my employee eat a jar of mayonnaise. I love that I can just say nigger faggot, though.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't really say that. Nigger faggot. So wonderful.
Yeah.
So
now you're gonna get shit for it.
Today's episode is sponsored by Old Spice Pomade. Your hair says a lot about you, and with Old Spice hair pomade, you can make it say the right thing.
Get it now at
oldspice.com. I love that I can just say nigger faggot, though.
Tipster quote tweets this and says, look, I'm 100% on board that H3 getting Keemstar booted from G Fuel is fucked. But if we start going after his sponsors, that's a slippery fucking slope. Do we really want to open that Pandora's box? Cause it won't be good for anyone if we do. Just saying. Keemstar quote tweets this and says, to all my fans, and I mean this, do not go after any of H3 sponsors. Retweet this to show hypocrisy only. Someone then tweets out, update. Old Spice has terminated their partnership with H3, showing a DM response from Old Spice that says, hi, we just wanted to follow up and assure you that Old Spice is a brand committed to equality across race, religion, gender, and sexual orientation, and we object to bias of any kind. We have taken the immediate action to terminate the partnership and are activating the appropriate steps to ensure that this does not happen again. Keemstar quote tweets this and says, I told you guys not to do this. Please do not go after any of H3 sponsors. I do not want this shit for our community. Yes, I know there is an old drama alert talking about source sponsors, but that was 5 years ago, before there even was a commentary community. Don't do this. H3 responds 2019 with the same tweets we read earlier of Keemstar saying he'll go after sponsors in July of 2019. Someone else tweets out spam zoomies, another one of H3 sponsors. Keemstar quote tweets it and says, please do not. Real Jaden responds, the more you say don't go after his sponsors, the more your supporters will do it. Pretty sure you are aware of this and are just using reverse psychology to get your supporters to do this. LOL. More people start tweeting that they're gonna go after H3 sponsors. Some ordinary gamers quote tweets it and says, you people need to chill. This is exactly what I said would happen. H3 didn't say these phrases maliciously, but if you decontextualize the situation, you can make anyone look bad. These sponsors don't need the harassment on either side. Kavos reacts to this by saying, well done H3, and all you moronic H3 fans who refuse to see the bigger picture. Threads on 4chan now popping up targeting sponsors of creators for past mistakes. Ethan has really fucked us now. This won't stop, and is just the start. And don't make the argument Keemstar did it too. Yes, what Keem said 5 years ago was wrong, but Ethan has now popularized going after sponsors and set this precedent on such a large scale that we won't be able to control. Pimp Master Yoda says, begin the sponsorship wars has. Keemstar tweets out, does anyone know if Raid Shadow Legends makes energy drinks? Why is this trending? Hashtag boycott FedEx. Ethan, FedEx doesn't sponsor me. He then tweets out, oopsie H3.
Ooh, I love this spooky music. Very scandalous. Like a little tribal. Ooh, I like that music. It's getting me in the mood to fucking contact YouTube and tell them to drop PewDiePie. I mean, I'm disappointed because it just proves to these cult of outrage people that you can achieve whatever your outrage sets its will on. You know what I mean? You could get PewDiePie's show canceled. All I need to do is write into these fucking horseshit papers and get a sensational title. And it breaks my heart that YouTube and Maker and Disney caved to this fake outrage. And let me remind you, Disney, before you get on your fucking high horse with your white powdered wig, that Walt Disney was a notorious racist and anti-Semite. As a result of this manufactured outrage, his network, Maker, which is owned by Disney, and YouTube dropped his new season of Scare PewDiePie, which was, as I understand it, almost nearly completed, and we were in an episode of that. So you're killing the Jews' limelight, you're anti-Semitic. Where's my fucking spot in Scare PewDiePie? That was going to launch my acting career. Why are you holding down the Jew? I'm writing an outrageous letter to the Wall Street Journal to write an article about how Disney and YouTube are anti-Semitic. Watch, they're going to do it too. They don't give a shit. They don't have any morals there.
H3 tweets out, Teddy Fresh just dropped us as a sponsor. Shout out to all the Keemstar fans buying Teddy Fresh to support the boycott. Nicholas Diorio takes one of Ethan Klein's old tweets from March 19th, 2020, where he says, I'm curious if billionaires are gonna ride or die for America in the next 12 weeks and mass produce ventilators. Or will they retreat to their apocalypse bunkers? We are about to find out if they have value to our society or not. Hashtag where's Jeff Bezos? Nick comments on this by saying, I'm curious if these millionaires are going to ride or die for YouTubers in the next 12 weeks and stop sniping sponsorships, or if they will retreat to their adpocalypse bunkers. We are about to find out if they have value to our society or not. Hashtag shut up Keemstar, hashtag shut up H3. Sky Williams says, damn, G Fuel and Old Spice really were just minding their own business before the Fire Nation attacked. Now they are getting spammed with the worst slurs in humanity, all for the sake of this YouTuber war. I feel bad for him. LOL. Do y'all? Nerd City tweets out, then, Keemstar said, good luck Ethan, because he has an army. But Keem tried to get an esports team fired once, so H3 retweeted that. Then people sent Ethan's N-word clip to Old Spice, and they replied, but it's probably fake. So Ethan pretended Teddy Fresh fired him, but Augie RFC says, this is bigger than whether you like Keemstar or not. H3 has shown public interest in going after your money. I wonder how much he is a fan of deplatforming behind the scenes. Gokanaru? Willie Mac Show tweets out, YouTubers are crying about the lack of potential future sponsorships. Meanwhile, the viewers are partying cause less ads. LOL. Internet Historian tweets out, breaking news about the recent drama. I am very proud of them.
Hey guys, Ethan here live from my house. Just wanted to say soz about the drama, I was only fooling. Hello, it is your host Kendall Keemstar. Let's get right into the apology as well. I am soz too. We have decided to be friends again. Hello, I am G Fuel. And I am Old Spice. And we have decided to hit Ctrl+Z on the sponsorship drops. Wow, it is like everything is back to normal. Very cool. Put there pal. Thank you, friend.
Ethan replies, why did you dox my new address? Carrium Jovian tweets out, just remember while you're saying H3 came after Keemstar's sponsor, Keemstar did that too. He's also done worse, which is using his platform for cancel culture and deplatforming, and that is looked down upon in the YouTube community.
Listen, I'm well aware of how much power Dromblert has, how much power my platform has, and I try my hardest not to use it as a weapon. But in this case, I'm using it as a weapon. Like, you need to be canceled. You deserve to.
Ethan quote tweets him and says, I am well aware of how powerful my platform is, and I try my best not to use it as a weapon, but in this case, I'm using it as a weapon. You need to be canceled. Any questions? Anything for views then tweets out, whenever I see H3 or Keem in my newsfeed.
Look at those retards!
Yeah, I think it's about time I stopped talking about them too. Just for this video though, we have way more to cover in the next part when we talk about the victims of this situation, including Mr. BTFO, the old man Tony, and Tommy NC 2010. So if you don't want to miss that, be sure to subscribe with notifications on. And follow me on Twitter to know what's going on over there. Thank you so much to my channel members for supporting the channel, in particular Josh Pescator and Furboy for donating $30 a month. And with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.